Well, welcome to another episode of Lorcana-Chats. I'm Chris, aka Questing for Lore. And with me today, I actually have two guests who, if you have been around the Lorcana community for any amount of time, I am sure you've seen either one of their products. In the absence of the official Lorcana merchandise, we've had some lovely options to be able to show our support for the game. I have Cait and Hummingbird Design Lab with me today. Cait, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I am Cait. I am the Lorcana lore counter creator, and I work for Calorel Collective, which is my own business. And I got into Lorcana last year. It's been absolutely amazing.
Nice. Perfect. All right. Hummingbird, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sharon. I'm the creative director at Hummingbird Design Lab. This is a company run by my husband and myself, and I am a mother of two teenage boys,
Oh,
and
goodness.
yes, I'm new to the trading card community, um, but my husband has had some past experience, and my youngest son recently got involved in the game, and I kind of joined. I followed along with them, and kind of here we are today.
Nice. Awesome. And you guys both go to the same LGS, right?
We do.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. And that I'm assuming that's where y'all originally met.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah,
no.
I guess we
Oh,
met at a different local game store and then both went to a different local game store together. So we
Yeah,
migrated game stores together.
okay.
that's actually a really good point. But we actually got to know each other waiting in line at a
We did.
GameStop.
One
Okay.
early morning, it was set one release. No, set two?
Yeah, no, set
Set
one
one?
retail.
Yeah, set
Yeah,
one retail release. We were camped out in front of GameStop together
Oh,
and
yep,
we
wow.
got to know each other very well.
It's
yeah.
dedication right there.
It is.
So y'all both have been in it since then, from kind of the
Yeah,
the early days.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Nice. Um, so let's see. So what first kind of drew you into Lorcana? What was the first thing where you looked at it and you said, I want to be a part of this. I want to try this.
Well, for me, I love Disney, and I actually used to work for Disneyland as a PhotoPass photographer. So Disney has always been a strong IP for me that I just love. So that's what drew me into the game. And prior to that, I've always collected Pokemon cards. So trading card games, though playing was new to me, I'd been a collector in the past, and I loved that. Um, yeah, that's
Okay,
what drew me to Lorcana.
cool. Yeah, I hear Pokemon is it's a little bit more of a collector kind of game. I mean, I know there's a whole
Yeah.
like, tournament kind of thing, but I know that a lot of the people that I've talked to, it's been more about like collecting cards and stuff.
They have a
And they,
lot of cute art, so it
yeah,
makes
I was gonna
collecting very
say,
easy.
and some really pretty cards. Like some of the
Oh
stuff
yeah.
is really nice. The patterns and the foiling and everything. It's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Mhm.
What about you, Sharon? How did you first hear about Lorcana and really get into it?
So, I am a huge board gamer. So I have tons of board games, and I really love the modern strategic style board games. And I was at Gen Con, and we saw this crazy line, and we found out that it was for this brand new trading card game that was coming out that Disney did. And at the time, I was just thinking, those people are crazy. That line was so long. It went on for days. And when we got home, my husband started doing some research on it, and he heard about this promo card that they were giving away, and he's like, "Oh, we should have got that." And he's like, "Man, these cards are going to be really hard to get, and it's going to be really popular." So when I was at our local game store, they had a sign up for a pre-release where they were going to have starter decks, and they were going to be giving away packs and stuff like that. So I
Oh,
told my husband, I'm
nice.
like, do we dare sign up for this if it's going to be in such high demand and hard to be a part of? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, sign us up. And my youngest said, yeah, sign me up too, because he's into the board game scene too. And so yeah, so we just decided, okay, we'll try it and see how it goes. And much like Cait, I just love the Disney IP. I mean, just love
Yeah,
everything Disney.
Mhm.
So it was
nice.
an easy sell.
So do y'all play as a family, or is it pretty much just you and headed out to the LGS and playing?
Oh no, we play as a family, but we try not to.
Nice.
I don't like playing my son because he is just he's so good at the game.
I
He
don't like
crushes.
playing him either.
Yeah, he crushes
He's very
us.
good.
Yeah, it's funny. Like a lot of the people that I talk to, that have family and, they play with their kids and stuff like that, they're like, man, my kid is so good at this game. And and it's kind of embarrassing as somebody, you're like, oh, well, I should be able to do all the strategy and understand the game. And it's like, they just annihilated me. I have two lore and they have, they got all the way to 20 on like turn 4. It's like,
No, my
so
son, he'll
yeah.
he'll let me get to like 14 and he'll have like zero lore, and then like 2 turns later he's won the game. It's just like he gives you that false hope like you're doing good, but the whole time, like, and then afterwards he'll tell you every play that you made wrong on each turn and what you should have done instead.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
actually pretty impressive. I don't know if
He's
very many
he's
people
good.
have that kind of memory.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a championship level good and has won multiple championships from the
Oh,
store
awesome.
championships. Yeah, he's very good.
What, so one a stitch then, or
Y-
Oh,
Yeah, so we played in 5 England set championships.
holy
He made
cow.
I know he plays top 8 in all of them. And then he was top 4 in one and he was runner up in one.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out for him.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Matter
Although
of
from
fact,
what I
when we
hear, he's got some pretty good competition among some of the other younger players. So I don't
yeah.
know. We'll see if they ever decide to do like a youth league and stuff. Hopefully soon-ish.
Yeah.
I
You
would
know, that's
think.
really funny.
Oh, go ahead.
We were actually talking about that and he's like, I wish they had a kids league. And I'm like, no. I'm like, Bear, you need to keep competing in the adult league because
Mhm.
I think he would be at the top of a youth league, but and I'm like, you don't want to be the best one at the table because that you're never going to get better if you're the best one at that table.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and I'm like, you can compete with the big boys, and he does. And I'm like, so you just keep competing there, and you'll continue to get better.
Nice. Yeah. I really, it's really great to see these younger players already being so engaged and, doing so well in the game because it really speaks a lot to the future, right? To
Mhm.
have that kind of player base coming up through the ranks, basically. I mean, it sounds like
Yeah.
he's already there, more or less, but to be there for a longer period of time than some of the current players, potentially kind of not age out. Oh my gosh, that sounds so old of me. But you know what I mean. To be able to
Mhm.
No,
have, a
absolutely.
constant kind of stream of, people and newer players, that may have different ideas. They have, different decks that they may come up with. And, now that we're going to have, potentially a little bit more diversity, since we're our favorite online client that shall not be named is unfortunately going away, which I know all
Oh.
three of us have enjoyed in the past. But
Mhm.
um, I think it's going to bring more diversity to the whole, the meta for the different LGSs and the meta as a whole, right? For like the DLCs and everything. So I think it'll be good. It's always interesting to see what people come up with too. There's some people that, they'll make decks from, they'll have like one chapter 4 card and then the rest are like, first chapter or something. And it's crazy
Yeah.
to see that, there's some random combo that works like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I do want to take some time and talk to each of you about some of your product stuff because I know that both of y'all have created some things that are super popular in the community. Cait, you want to kind of introduce some of your
Yeah.
stuff?
Well, this might be a familiar sight to those watching. This is the Lorcana lore counter that has been very popular throughout the community. And I am so happy um that you guys have been supporting me through all of this. It's honestly so surreal because I designed this in a larger version originally, which is
Mhm.
also for sale. And then just the immediate feedback of, hey, I would get one too if it could fit in my deck box. And
Yeah, I was
everyone,
gonna say,
yeah.
keep going.
Thank you. So everyone who has really supported me has, I mean, these deck box ones are the most popular. Yes, the
Yep,
black and the
it's a
white.
perfect size.
It's it's awesome. I really am so happy to be doing this for the community. I love putting them together. I do build every individual part on the lore counter. So the way that it spins, I have to place those in there. I have to stick the stickers on there and then construct it and, super glue it all down together. And I test every one before shipping, like make sure it spins and it doesn't have anything wrong with it.
No
Um,
grinding or anything.
yeah, no grinding. And then over time, designs. And this is something I still will continue to expand upon in future sets and when time permits. So, yeah, you guys have
Nice.
been absolutely incredible with the support, and I really appreciate it.
Well, and how did you, do you have like a background in designing 3D printing stuff, or was it?
So, very much like Sharon, my husband is very supportive and helpful. My husband does the actual like math, he does the math for the design. But I do
Okay.
all the printing and designing of it. So where you see the Lorcana symbol, how I created the pointer, that's all me. I'm the creative element. He is like, hey, I think I need to shorten this 1 millimeter. And I'm like, awesome. Yeah, I'll present the problem like, hey, this one's grinding too much. He'll be like, oh, let's go ahead and make those 1 millimeter shorter and it'll stop that. So
Nice.
yeah, I am more creative and marketing minded. And the 3D printing has been wonderful, and I'm able to do all the 3D printing, but creating that initial file for designs is a team effort. It's a lot of trial and error. So for those who have stuck it out since the very early beginning days where we're just getting these prototypes out, now we have a product that's like really successful and very consistent, and I'm proud of that.
Nice. Yeah, and they're super great. I love these little guys.
Yeah.
Um, how long on average does it take to print one?
Um, so I can get a set of 4 on one printer. That takes about 2 hours of print time. Actually, more like 3 hours. 3 hours of print time for a set of 4. I have 5 printers now. We started with one printer.
Holy cow.
We have 5 printers now. We have multicolor. We have different options and designs because the community has been so supportive. I have more options and I can produce more stuff. But from start to finish, in terms of building a lore counter, you print out the pieces, putting it together. I have to print the stickers, laminate the stickers, put the stickers on the little dials, and then probably about, you know, it, a one-off, maybe 15 minutes. But this is why you do them in sets of 50 is you could
Right.
sit there and have all your stickers already printed and. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's about how long.
Yeah, and I think I've seen the pictures that you've posted on like Twitter or Instagram of like piles of these things where you're just like
Yeah.
sitting and watching TV or something, putting them all together. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
This is my current stock. I just filled a big order today. Um, but yeah, it's been
Nice.
great.
Nice. Awesome. So you have the regular, the black and white. You
Yes.
have the Stitch, the Honey Wizard, was
Yes.
Cusco. Is that all the Lorcana ones?
Yes.
Moana.
Moana as well, which Moana
Moana.
is not a huge seller, and I think the reason is getting her mat was very difficult.
Mm,
And honestly, the poo is just, I think, it
It's
was
so
more
great.
popular at that time. Yeah, it was super pretty. Same with the Cusco. Cusco's not too popular. It's more of a niche.
Mhm.
But the Rockstar Stitch has done really well as well.
Nice. I
Yeah,
wonder
my
if that's,
son
oh, go
loves
ahead.
it. My son wanted one as soon as he saw them, and he wanted that. He was like, I need it. I need it.
I think you guys have actually been able to get some of those very early prototypes. I think so.
Yep.
Our first one was actually made out of wood. Oh my gosh, I guess that's something nobody knows.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, because we have a laser engraver. So we originally cut it in wood pieces. Um, much more expensive, much more time consuming, much more room for error. But we did put one together, and I think we gave it to Hummingbird. And yeah, that's crazy. We also had some that had like a sparkly laminate on it.
mm.
and and yeah, those were just prototypes. Maybe they'll come
Hey,
back around as a limited edition. Who knows?
there you go. I bet you could do that. Yeah,
We
that'd be
did
perfect.
a yeah, we did a gold version of the poo for a while until that one sold out. And then I just
Okay.
limited edition, there was a one print of it, or well, there was 10. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
special editions.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. And you also do them for other games too, right?
I do. So we do have a base counter for Star Wars Unlimited. So,
Nice.
if you're into other TCGs, we're trying to expand. I'm trying to get more knowledgeable on all of the TCGs and try to figure out what their needs are. So, yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty standard thing to have like one value that you need to track for something. Even Magic has
right.
that kind of thing with the life and everything. So,
Yep.
have you considered going that direction and going
I
to
have.
the Magic side?
I have considered that. So with Magic, it is a challenge because you start with 40 life, which is already a ton and will
Ah,
not fit on that
yeah.
little BB counter. And then there's a lot of decks that you can just ramp up your life to like 100. And it's like, well, what?
Oh, yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know if it's that dramatic. I've heard crazy things about Magic. But yeah, I hear you can get your life above 40, which that would be a problem.
Yeah, definitely.
So
20
yeah,
is 20 is a good fit for these little ones, but yeah,
it
I can't
is.
imagine anything higher really. Be
Yeah,
pretty
well, this
small.
one is 30. The base counter for
Oh yeah.
I don't even know
Okay.
if it'll focus. Is my camera that good? I don't know. Um, but it is definitely crammed and there's no like space.
Yep.
Well, there's no logo. So on the Lorcana one, I have the Lorcana logo on it
Hmm.
on the top there. Yeah, this one
Right.
does not. This one is all numbers. So
Okay. Well, it's still
yeah.
good. I mean, get it all in there, so it's
Exactly.
useful. That's kind of the point, right?
Yep.
Nice. All right, well, cool. Well, Sharon, I want to go ahead and talk to you some about your stuff.
Yeah.
So you have all sorts of stuff on your Etsy store,
Hmm.
including, this lovely hat.
Yes.
Or if you're looking for a different style of hat and have been around the Lorcana community for any period of time, you understand the significance of bucket hats.
Oh
You
Yes.
yeah.
also have I'll have to make sure when I do the editing for this episode that I stick a bucket hat image in right here.
Yeah. Do you have a photo of Rebecca in her bucket hat that she got from Disney? The Lorcana Luminary, the
I
girl
did.
who hosted the events.
I
Never
did not
mind.
see
Well,
that. No.
Well,
we'll have to see if we can dig it up. That would be
it's on
perfect.
Twitter.
Awesome. Yeah. So you do hats, shirts, stickers.
Hmm.
What else? What other kind of stuff do you have?
I guess sweatshirts, hoodies, um, bucket hats, dad hats, I guess, yeah, just dressed in regular. I'm trying to
Right.
think. I have some other products I haven't released yet. I have a phone case that I've been working on and playing with.
Nice.
Yeah, I have like I'm also looking at creating pin displays for the league pins that they give
Oh,
out.
that would be really
Um,
cool.
That's a good
mhm.
idea.
Yeah, so I didn't, but like by far, I started with stickers. It all started with the stickers.
Okay.
Um,
So what was
mhm.
your first sticker design? Do you remember?
It was, oh gosh, I think it was the Maleficent Dragon
Okay.
hexagon. So I was kind
The
of,
hexagons like these, right?
yes. Oh, that is a non-released one. You
Oh,
know that.
whoops. Sorry.
No, no,
Oh,
that it's okay. It's okay.
oh,
That's a that's a special one. That is not in my shop yet. Um,
Ah, okay.
yeah,
oh.
you got an exclusive. Like if you see me in person, I usually have my sticker book with me, and I do have non-released stickers in my book. So, but yeah, but the hexagon stickers were my first, and it was probably the Maleficent Dragon.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember seeing that one. That
Hmm.
and there was another, well, of course, I mean, it's obvious that I've gotten some stuff, and I think one of the first ones I got was the hat
Oh.
there. So it lives on the
Yes.
back of my phone.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet up with you at the Atlanta Challenge, and I got some lovely stickers. Clearly, some unreleased stickers, but you've also got these lovely binder stickers
Yes.
that are super
Hmm.
nice. Where do you come up with your ideas? I mean, what's your process, I guess?
So in the beginning, it was literally a lot of requests, like what my husband wanted, what my son wanted. Um, that's how it started. And then I started looking at all the cards. Like I was just taken with how beautiful the artwork is in Lorcana. And I think that's part of the reason why I love the game so much. And I was so willing to jump into it because I love the characters, but the artists are just amazing. They're so talented. And um, I just love their spin on some of these traditional characters, giving them, they're kind of breathing new life into them. And I
Mhm.
just,
Mhm.
as an artist myself, I just find it really inspiring. And so I wanted to continue to proliferate their artwork out there. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
Yep.
it can help attract other people into the game that know and love those characters.
Yeah, it's crazy some of the stuff they come up with, like for the Floodborn and the Dreamborn. And I
Mhm.
mean, they have really recruited some amazing artists for these cards. I
They
don't think
have their, I
there's
mean,
Yeah.
any particular one I can think of that's not just, it's like, oh, this card is ugly. It's like all of them are amazing. So
yeah. Yeah, I know that Pokemon has a lot of really beautiful cards, but hands down, I think Lorcana is the best artwork in the card game community.
I would
Yeah,
agree.
I would agree.
So what kind of like tools do you use when you're coming up with these designs? Like what do you use to make them?
I primarily use the Cricut software. So they have a software called Design Space. Um, but it's been nice because since I have started doing this and there's been so much interest, I've really branched out a little bit further. And so now I've taught myself how to use Canva a little bit, and I'm starting to venture into some AI software, so Kittle.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, sometimes like with art that kind of falls off the edges of the card that I want to try to kind of recreate. I don't have enough graphic design skills to be able to do it myself, but there's some really neat features in some of these software programs that can kind of help you.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that stuff is crazy powerful these days. And I mean it's only going
Hmm.
to get better, right?
I know, I know.
No, that's awesome. And I
Mhm.
love that you do I'm going to show a different one. Hopefully this one's not an
Yeah.
unreleased one
No,
too.
you can reveal anything you want. You can
Okay,
reveal
all
it
right.
all.
So I
Yeah.
do love the brave little tailor. But I
Yeah.
also love that you have the option of the sparkles on each of these. I
Yeah.
think pretty much every one of yours that I have has the sparkle stuff on it. So it just adds that little extra, flair.
It
And it
does.
kind of, it's reminiscent of the foiling on the cards and all that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I offer all my stickers in two different types of finishes, a textured matte and then the holographic star. All the stickers that I personally use are the holographic star because I'm all about the sparkle and the glitter. Yeah, I'm very much into that.
nice. Well, they all look great. I love them, and I hope, to see lots more. I mean, you definitely have some great source material to work from. So I don't
Yes,
think there's
yeah,
going to be any end in sight on that stuff. But okay.
really not.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, both of you guys, I mean, y'all are doing such great work, and I know
Thank
so many
you.
people in the community love your stuff. I
Thank
know, and it really hasn't been that long, I guess, since y'all kind of kicked off your stuff. I mean, less than a year, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I have been doing this since November. December was probably when it kind of got picked up, the traffic, and then after that, the rest is really just history.
Nice. And Sharon,
Yeah,
your
I think
stuff is, especially with the diversity of products, I mean,
Yeah.
it's doing pretty well.
yeah, so it's kind of funny, like several of the leagues that we belong to actually give additional league points for wearing Disney Disney like clothing and apparel and stuff like that. So we surprisingly had a very like my kids when they were younger had a ton of stuff, but we don't have a ton of stuff. So I started just making shirts for us to wear so we could get the extra points during league because we wanted all the pins.
Nice.
So when I started doing that, some of my friends at the local game store were like, "Oh my gosh, I love that shirt! Can you make me a shirt?" And it just kind of continued. And so, um, and then I just like doing kind of funny designs, especially when it comes to the gameplay. Like I
Yeah, I
just
saw
released a
the die Bucky. Yeah.
yes,
That one's great.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
sentiment shared by a lot of the community right now. I'll just have to say that.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's funny because it's just Bucky's so polarizing, and you keep hearing everyone saying ban Bucky," and I'm like, Bucky's been around since set two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like cards are going to continue to come into the game, and it's going to change these cards that have been out for months. You know what I mean? In several sets, and I just thought it was a little funny, but then I played a deck, and I'm like, oh, he needs to go.
Yep, yep, definitely. And I'm sure there'll be something that comes along in, a couple of weeks and figures out how to deal with them. I've already seen a couple of people talking about potential solutions, but it'll be interesting, and especially with another set coming in, no, not too long now.
I
It's
know.
going to be crazy to have a whole nother set to think about, but it's getting to be a lot of cards.
Yep.
So speaking of kind of the game and the community and everything, I know you both are big on Twitter and Instagram and are really out
Yep.
there. Obviously went to the Atlanta Challenge, is where I met you guys. Um, and apparently where I got, certain stickers
Ooh.
that I share. Um, no, but what's kind of each of y'all's like favorite part about the game or the community or anything like that?
I feel like it's so cliche to say everything, but this is the first time I have felt a part of a community in such a consistent way that has been so welcoming. And for that, I can't say thank you enough. Um, I think the other thing I really love about the community is just how diverse it is. You do have kids, you do have many people from many different backgrounds, and I feel like everyone is just very kind and supportive, and it's a safe community, and I think that's hard to come by.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with, some of the previous ones, Magic has been known for, not
Yeah,
having a great community sometimes.
right.
I know they've taken steps to try to help with that, but to have such a solid foundation of, just being welcoming to anybody that wants to play, and then
Yeah.
the aspect of it being Disney, it
Mhm.
also it's really familiar to everybody. We've got cards from movies from the 50s all the way up to ones from like,
Mhm.
2 years ago or something,
Yeah.
or even more recent than that, I guess. Um, but but yeah, I mean, there's so much, and it brings back so many memories for people, and
Mhm.
and it's not as complicated as other games either.
Absolutely.
Um,
It was a great starter game. And the other wonderful thing about the community is there are more females involved in Lorcana, and that is
mhm.
something I am so excited to see. And I see it on Twitter, we've got Ladies of Lorcana, and I love that. And honestly, I gotta hit y'all up because I need to be a part of this. But no, the wonderful diversity in the community. I love it.
Nice. Yeah, it's super great. And we have people like the Live Laugh Lorcana ladies that
Yeah.
are,
Mhm.
really pushing for that kind of stuff and really making sure that that is something that's top of mind for a lot of the community,
Yes.
and representation from, all sorts of people. So, what about you,
Absolutely.
Sharon? What's your
Yeah, yeah,
favorite?
I mean, I would have to, I'd have to say the same thing. The community is
Yeah.
just, I wouldn't have known Cait if it wasn't for the
Right.
community. You know what I mean? And the people that I have met, and I mean, it is very, very diverse. And I think it's opening up game stores to a whole new level of audience and customers that they aren't maybe used to seeing. You know what I mean? Like, sure, kids were going in there and buying Pokemon cards and stuff like that, but like, I just kind of feel like they're intermingling. It's not like kids playing like other kids in a game. It's kids playing with adults. I mean, it
Mhm.
it brought my younger son and me and my husband. I mean, we play together. We go to the league nights together. Like, everyone at our store knows our son, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
they kind of they look out for him, you know? So
Yep.
I that sort of sense of belonging, and just knowing that when he goes there to play Lorcana, we know that, it's going to be a good environment for him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, and that's huge, as
Mhm.
somebody with kids myself, to be able to have an atmosphere where you're not worried about them, being across the room and playing an adult. It's like, okay,
yeah.
they're okay. This is not going to be a problem situation where you have to like, hover or whatever.
Hmm.
Um,
I
and
don't
I
know. I
forget
feel like I'm more afraid of him at this point.
from the sound of it, I mean, pretty good players. So yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Um, yeah, and it's interesting. I can't remember where I heard it the other day, but somebody suggested that, another good kind of way to engage more, as a family kind of thing is the kid playing and a parent becoming a judge, so that they're
Oh.
there, but they don't have to necessarily play the game, and they're just kind of, they're walking around or whatever. Um, I was like, that's a really interesting way to engage with the game. You're still involved, but you're not
Hmm.
directly playing. If that's not your thing, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of another nice thing about the game too, is everybody kind of engages with it in a different way, and
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's okay. Like nobody's like, oh my gosh, if you're not a hardcore player, you're not, really into Lorcana. It's like, you like to play casual? Cool. You want to be competitive? Awesome. You know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's just, and I hope that as the community grows, that it stays that way. And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people that are really making sure that it really kind of, evolves that way, including the Ravensburger people.
Yes. Yep.
Rochelle and a bunch of the other folks, they're in there. They're in the Discords. They're
Yes.
interacting on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Um, they're
Th-
really listening to the community. So,
They really are. Can't say too much, but they are definitely very much community focused. I mean, they listen to their people, and we talked about people finding where they fit in the community. My husband is actually a judge for the local
Yeah,
events.
nice.
So we all go to the same game store. He's actually the judge. And it did not start like that. I think he became the judge in about like a month after the game. But it's been great because you can bond with many different people and still kind of have these different roles. Like you don't have to play competitively. Some people just want to play themed decks, and I love playing them. Some people want to play competitive, and that's great. And I will get into my competitive little spurts, but you know, and I could judge if needed. So yeah, it's got a lot of flexibility.
Yep,
Chris, don't
definitely.
let her fool you. She is a champion, a
Stop.
2K PPG Columbus champion. Like I want to
Uh,
say
I
she was the
am.
very first female Lorcana winner,
I
championship winner.
was. All right. We'll do
oh
this. We'll do
wow.
Yeah.
this. I don't know why it's mirrored. Don't know how to. Oh,
Mhm.
there we go. All right.
Yep.
That's
That's
amazing.
her.
This
And
is me.
she crushed it in that tournament. We played, my son and myself, my husband, her, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. And yeah, she was. Oh, that was my favorite deck I ever played. Was her deck.
Yeah, it was aggro. Just all aggro. Super fun. First place PPG 2K. My first tournament ever. And
Mhm.
it was a good time. It was a good time, and I felt safe, and the community was so supportive. So it's really, again, just been a literal life-changing game for me.
Nice. I like how you kind of like tried to slip under the radar, like, oh, I'm a
Oh,
pretty good player, you
I'm
know.
okay. I'm okay.
Well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on that. I
Thank
did
you.
not know that. So
Thank you. I
that's
got a
super
custom
cool.
sticker from Hummingbird that says I'm a winner.
Oh, nice.
So, yes.
That's awesome. So is there anything that you guys can think of that we as a community can be doing better? I know it's a great community, right? I think
Mhm.
that's pretty widely accepted. Every community has their issues. But is there anything that you guys think could be an area for improvement or would like to see in the future?
I do have something. So I love how many females are in this community, and I love everybody's outlook on it, mostly. Um, as a female, I'm sure most of us have one or two stories of situations that maybe weren't outright awful, but made you feel smaller inside.
Mhm.
And I did bring this up. So I shared an experience that I had on Twitter, and someone sent me a message asking, well, how should we greet female people in our tournaments? And I'm like, just like everybody else. That's it. That's all we
Yeah.
want. Just treat us the same. We don't, you know, we don't want any special treatment. Um, the women in the Lorcana community are just super strong, and I think we're ready to take it on, and we feel very confident in our gameplay. We feel very confident in just being a part of the community. We don't want to feel like a sore thumb. And we'll say
Yep.
something. We will. We will.
Yep.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's something else. In this community, if a female will post something on Twitter about an experience, everybody is coming to back her. And I love that.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like even more than just females are coming up. I feel like there a lot of the content creators out there are just really they're they're so supportive.
Mhm.
They love that this is a diverse community and they want to keep it that way.
Mhm.
And much like Cait's situation, I did I've had a few moments where I feel
Mhm.
like um the environment, the game store environment
Yeah.
for so long was so male dominated. So I think sometimes it's hard, like when they're playing against females, they don't expect us to be good sometimes,
Mhm.
I think. And so uh, I can tell, like, I've seen some people and how they react and behave when they lose to me versus like my husband or even my son. They seem more accepting losing to a 13-year-old boy than a female. So that's a little
Yeah.
disappointing. Um, but I know this is change is hard, but hopefully they just start to see us like just another competitor, just like their bro next to them or whoever, you know what I mean? Like, but I do feel like the more females are in the game, the more that they see other females in the game, it will
Mhm.
become the norm. And I think hopefully in time we'll see, you know, a very, the
50-50 splits.
yeah, that would be amazing.
Shoot high.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I just think it would be great to get everyone out and hanging out. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and it seems like we're off to a good start,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Mm,
we're getting there, and like I said, having such an emphasis at the very beginning. I mean, this game is so early on compared to a lot
Oh,
of them
for
out
sure.
there. So,
For sure.
and we've got, all the great content creators like you were mentioning out there really championing it. And so it's not like, one or two people. It's like a whole group of people.
Yeah.
And and it's great. So
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so the game itself, is there anything, I know you both said this is kind of your first real
Mhm.
TCG that you've played. Some of the folks I talked to are like, oh yeah, I would love to see this from Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. Um, but is there anything that you think could be improved about the game itself or would like to see in the future of the game itself?
Hummingbird, do you want me to go first?
yes.
Okay. So overall, major game changes. I actually really love the way that the game is going right now. I think the flow is great. I like the fact that there are no interrupts. I know some people like Magic because you can really disturb your opponent mid action on their end. But I think Lorcana does a very good way at keeping certain abilities almost like an interrupt, but keeping it on the player's turn. So you exert, let's say, Ursula, and other characters can't sing that turn. Well,
Mhm.
you can exert that at the end, get the lore from it, and then now your opponent can't sing songs that turn. That's a way that you can interrupt them without actually interrupting. And I think if I do see anything more in the future, in terms of gameplay, like I'm excited for whatever they come out with, more items, more characters, more locations. I am very design centered, and I would love to see more card variety in terms of design. So I know we talked about Pokemon, how they have like full art, alt arts, character rares. Um, I don't need that right off the bat, but like having a one step above like normal and then enchanted, can there be something in the middle that maybe I can just spend like $10 on versus 100? So maybe variety in card design.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that as something down the line, as especially as the sets grow and, different
Uh,
themes come out. I know we don't really have themes per se. I mean, there's like Floodborne and,
yeah,
Inklands and stuff. It's kind of a general category, but it's not really, you know, a card type per se. So, but
right.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Especially given how expensive some of these cards are.
yeah,
It'd be nice to have a nice kind of budget option in there.
right,
Um,
right. I
yeah,
need budget friendly, please.
I know, right? Oh my gosh, there's
Yeah,
so many expensive cards, even outside of the Enchanteds. They're
yeah,
just, ridiculous. 50, 60, $100 cards. It's
yeah.
just, oh my gosh.
And
Oh,
that's fine. I'm like, I'm okay with spending that every once in a while on a legendary, but maybe if I am spending 60, can I spend 100 and get a prettier version of it?
yeah.
This is all because Rapunzel came out that you could only win in the tournaments, and I will
Mm.
never be good enough to get that darn Rapunzel, and I want it, but I don't want to pay for it.
It is nice.
It is. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Sharon? Oh,
they knocked themselves out with the promo card designs with
Oh
these
yeah.
challenges. They're all stunning. And the play mats. Oh, I wish they would just manufacture more play mats at the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, because I know some locations have like a plethora of them in like Florida near Disney Springs, and then others is like it's like a desert where like, oh, a game store that hosts like 40 plus people on league night gets one.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's kind of disappointing. But you made a great point, Cait.
Yeah.
I'd never even thought about the interrupt thing. I do kind of like that you can play out your hand without someone just totally like stopping you. That could
Yeah.
be really frustrating. So I do kind of like that that's not in the game. And yet, I mean, I
Yeah.
imagine at some point they'll introduce it.
Yeah, see, and I'm not sure because, like, again, seven drop Ursula, you after you exert it, other characters can't sing. So
Mhm.
it's like it's kind of interrupting the other opponent's gameplay, but without, letting your opponent start and saying, haha, JK. It feels less mean. I, in Magic, I have played a couple Magic rounds since, I've learned some more stuff. I don't like blue. There is nothing worse than trying to play something and someone goes, nope, can't do that. Like, I would like to know what I can't do before I start my full turn. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
preference.
I
Yep.
That's all I
completely
like.
agree.
Yeah. It's, but I think the game is going in the right direction because there are still things that affect the other person. So it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can't ready, can't quest, all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
is,
Like Elsa. Elsa, exert two
yeah.
characters and they can't use them next turn. Like, ouch. Okay. But I feel less mean because I'm playing it on my turn and I'm not going, haha, now you can't quest.
Yep.
Like,
That's a really.
I don't know. I don't like feeling mean about it.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
and
and I
and
feel like
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I feel like, this whole game, Disney designed it to be more Disney-esque. So you're
Mhm.
not killing
Yep.
things, you're banishing them. So I think that kind of goes into the Disney feel and what they stand for. So yeah, hopefully we don't see that in the future because you're right, that would drive me crazy. If I have everything planned in my head and someone's
Mhm.
stopping me mid thought saying nope.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
especially with like 2 round format and with the time limits we currently have. I don't know. It would be an adjustment for sure. And even if they do decide to do that in the future, I'll work around it. But I think what they've got going on now is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting that, so like whenever they introduced locations, that was a huge change, right?
Right.
A huge mechanic update. But I like that like the whole sing together stuff and some of
Yeah.
the shift mechanic changes in this latest set. It's kind of just modifying what's already there, you
Yes.
know.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope that they keep that, going, throughout
Yeah.
the rest of it, that it's not like major change each set.
Yeah. I like these little updates. Very manageable.
Mm.
Yes. I can't imagine like if they introduced something big like locations every set, it would just be
Oh, it'd be too
overwhelming.
much.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no. And I think the Ravensburger folks, like most of them have participated in communities and other TCGs before. I think I read that
I
somewhere,
think
or at least
so.
some of them. Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Which is good to have that perspective, right? Because I think, what is it? Ravensburger makes more famously puzzles or something.
Oh yeah, so
Yes.
Ravensburger, I actually know them from their puzzles because they have like the highest quality puzzles ever. I got like sucked in the puzzling hobby for a while. But yeah, Ravensburger is known for Villainous as well.
Right. Yep. Yeah. That's a fun game too.
It
I've
is.
only
It's
played
a
it a
lot of
couple of
fun.
times, but
Yeah.
and I think didn't they actually have it at Atlanta? I think I saw that they had like a table
Yeah.
set aside for playing it.
Did they?
I
I
think.
must have just had my head down. It's
Too
like,
focused on
oh,
winning. Got to get to that,
Winning,
let it go, right?
bathroom. Winning, go to bathroom. Food.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's a grind. It's a hard day at work, okay?
It is. It is.
It is.
And then add in the, 3,000 other people from the other conference that was going on at the same
Yeah,
time. And
MomoCon. Jeez.
oh my gosh, it was crazy. But at
I
least
felt
we were
like we
kind
had
of,
VIP. Yeah, we were down there, and then we had that
Mhm.
VIP service for a while where they were like, hey, these elevators are only for Lorcana people. Like, if you're not going, like,
Oh,
you need to go. So it was kind of nice.
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was a little chaotic and
it was.
a little overwhelming especially that first day.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
all right. Well, cool. So we've got Lorecast coming up at the time of this recording. It's coming up
So
tomorrow. So
excited.
I
we'll
know.
Oh,
have some hopefully juicy gossip to talk about on future
yes.
episodes. I'm sure a
Yeah.
bunch of people are going to do their watch parties and everything like they did last time. So are
Yeah.
y'all planning on trying to catch it live, or are you going to
I will
catch
be
up
catching
later?
it live. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll catch it on their Twitch.
I'll be at work.
I know you will. Don't worry. The group chat will have 1,000 messages when you get
I
out ready
know,
for
I
you.
know. Yeah, I'm not allowed to have my phone in my office at all. So I come out to my car and there's like 122 text messages.
Oh
And like I'm
no.
like, oh my gosh, what did I miss?
Uh,
Well, here's hoping it's not too chaotic for you, that you can catch up pretty quickly and get the highlights. I'm sure there'll be plenty of videos to watch after the fact
uh,
too, so you
Yeah,
get
I'll try to
the
sneak in a
main
little bit
stuff.
of viewing here and there.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if it's going to go as long as it did last time. It was like two
it
or
was
3 hours or
3. Yeah.
something. Yeah. That was quite a show though. It was
Yes.
crazy seeing the Limiteers on there. They did
Yeah.
pretty good about
Yeah.
keeping that quiet.
They did. They
Well,
I'm sure lots of
cool.
NDAs were signed.
Oh, yes, I have no doubt. Um,
did.
it'll be interesting to see what if anybody shows up at the one, tomorrow
Yeah.
or what happens. But they've
Excited.
been all busy doing, stuff in Chicago, doing the webcast stuff.
Yeah.
Did y'all get to watch any of the coverage?
Yeah, I was very impressed with the Twitch coverage on the Lorcana event over the weekend. It was amazing. Again, um, it is Rebecca, right? I'm getting her name
Yes.
correct. Yeah,
Yep.
she was hosting, and again, having her there is just such an awesome role model for the community. But it was really good. I was impressed with the quality of the stream.
Hmm.
And we had Pokemon going on at the same exact time over the weekend. So I looked at Pokemon numbers on Twitch. Those were about like 4,200 at that time. And Lorcana had 1,300 viewers. And honestly, for a new TCG, I was very proud of us. Like, that is great. I think we've got a really bright future in this community.
Hmm.
Yep.
Definitely. And I feel like Melee worked a lot better too. I wasn't there, but I was
Yeah.
watching. I was watching like friends that were there. And so I kept going back in the standings and like seeing where people were, who they were paired up with. And that was kind of fun to keep everyone updated. Like, oh my gosh, he's number 18 right now in the rankings. Some of our local guys did pretty good.
Yeah, we had 3 people locally go to top 64. It was absolutely
Mhm.
incredible. We've got a
Nice.
very strong community, very competitive.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It sounds like an
Yeah.
awesome group of folks to play with on a more
Yeah.
regular basis.
We do have a 4,000 4K tournament potentially coming up. I guess let me know when I should say something about that. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, we
think
can talk
about
about that.
advertising for it,
Yeah,
but I
if you want to
probably
go ahead and
should.
talk about it, yeah, feel free.
Yeah. Let me
June 29th.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. I was pulling up the announcement, but I can't find it. I was going to share my screen.
Mm.
You can just cut all of this out, right? Of me looking.
No, it makes it authentic. We got to keep it in.
No. Oh, authentic.
I do have to say, I
Yeah.
am so bummed that I missed Chicago. We missed getting tickets for it, and I really wanted to be there because it's the closest one to us. So I was really disappointed that we missed it, and then also because Daniel and Lily from Lorcana Fanatics were there, and
Yeah.
like
They're so
Lily
fun.
is just the sweetest little girl. Like I am so fangirling over her because she's just so cute. And I just love seeing her playing. And I know like I was following their socials, and I saw that there was some concern that she wasn't old enough to like register for the side
Hmm.
events. So I'm so glad they worked that out, because
Really?
I'm like, Disney is for kids. And so if you can't tell me you're not going to let kids actually play this in their events. And so that's one thing I do kind of wish, that I hope in the future that with these events, right now with the set championships, with the challenge events, they're very competitive focused. And I would like them to add some more events that are more cooperative, more fun, but still have desirable prizes, promo cards and stuff like that,
Hmm.
that people will want to participate in. Because I do feel like the longer this game goes, the harder it's going to be for younger kids to get in. I feel like just because some of this, the tech is going to get a little bit more challenging, and there's a lot more cards out there to think about and remember. So having something a little bit less competitive that still offers desirable prizes, I think would benefit the community, and the culture that they've already created, and just kind of keeping that as the game moves forward.
Yeah, definitely. That would be awesome.
Okay.
Um,
So in our group chat, I just sent like a link to the image because I can't screen share because
okay,
I'm
here,
not.
let me do this
See if
then.
that works. Okay. Heck
Yay!
yes. Yeah, this is perfect to share. All right. So we have a potential 4K coming up at our local game store. Anyone can sign up. You guys can drive out, bring a friend, make it worth it. If we hit over 100 players, that's when it does turn into a 4K. First place would get $1,400. That is awesome. I think right now we have it as 1K, but the more players, the more money is up for grabs, and also overall just more people, more fun, more trading. So if you can make it out, please do. Um, you can reach out to me, or I can also send you to our Discord if you guys ever want. So yeah, we've got this coming
Nice.
up.
Awesome.
I definitely
Perfect.
think we will get into to the 2K level easily, though, just
Yeah,
based off of the local players.
yeah, for sure. So,
Well, cool. I did that window and now I lost my notes. There we go.
oh, sorry.
Okay. I got them back. All right. Um, okay. Well, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? I mean, I think we've covered a lot of ground here today. So
We did. Hopefully, you are challenged now to get them all organized in a way that makes sense.
yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So,
No, it's good. It's good. Well, so I always try to end these with the
yeah.
same questions for my guests.
All right.
We'll start with favorite ink and favorite card right now.
All right, guys. It's Diablo and
No.
Emerald. Emerald is my favorite. I know. The Diablo Enchanted is gorgeous. I love it. I
It
love
is.
everything about Diablo. I just love. I really do. And then lately I've been using Diablo in the Hidden Cove just to give him that one extra defense. And it's been helping against Sisu, and I like it. So it's Diablo
All
as
right.
of right now.
All right. Sharon, what about you?
So I am still on the amethyst, and I just can't get away from the bounce package. I just think it's
Yeah.
still so good, even like two sets later. And it, yeah, it's just, bouncing is so much fun. Um, and I like, as the sets, they keep adding new sets. There's more fun things to bounce. So, and new tricks to learn. With that, I still think my favorite card, or I wouldn't say it's my favorite card. My favorite card to play is probably Friends on the Other Side. It's just it's such a useful song. It's card. You can sing
Oh
it.
yeah. You can sing it with Diablo.
Yeah. Yes.
There you
Yes,
go.
you
Best of
can.
both worlds,
There you
right?
go. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not anti-Diablo. I've used Diablo. I've been playing with Diablo,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Nice, nice. All right, next question. Favorite Disney movie
Okay, if
and
we're talking,
why?
okay. Oh, Lion King for classic Disney movie. I do have second favorite. It's Tangled. I love Rapunzel so much, and that's gonna be my favorite like Disney princess movie. I have to have them. Two are on the top. They there is just not one that is above the other. They're just both my favorite so much. And
Nice.
why? Grew up with The Lion King. That was my first movie that I really remember watching and loving. And in the beginning, where Scar gets the little mouse, that part would always like scare me a little because his paw like goes down. So that's why I remember that. But I love that movie so much. And then Rapunzel from Tangled. So Tangled came out at a very pivotal point in my life. And I actually just felt like I related to her story. So at the age of 18, that is when I was able to go to Disney for my Disney college program internship. And it felt like I was leaving my tower. So it
There you
just
go.
was my safety movie. So yeah, my
Nice.
comfort movie.
It's a good one.
It is.
And Sharon, what about you?
Okay, so it's funny because I read these pre-questions and I thought about this and I really thought hard and I'm like I don't know how I can pick one, but after hearing Cait, you have inspired me, Cait.
Oh,
So I will
me.
say yes. So I will say I grew up with The Little Mermaid. A little older. I'm a lot older. I was an adult when Little Mermaid came out. So I still, I mean, I love it, and I wanted to be the Little Mermaid. I mean, it was
Oh,
just they added so much music to the. I mean, they've always had music in them, but I just felt like they took it to the next level with
yeah.
the starting with that Little Mermaid, and um, so that's like the classic. But like the modern day would definitely have to be Moana.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and just like you were getting out of your tower, I always felt like I was like I feel like I didn't follow a career path that was true to who I am. And I feel like now with Hummingbird Design Lab, it's my ocean. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh,
where I'm meant to be. I'm a creative soul and I have kind of locked it up my whole life. And I finally
yeah.
feel like I'm in the water where I belong, you know? So
I love that.
yeah.
Nice.
And Hey Hey is hands down my favorite character of all time. And yeah, the persistent presence card is like, oh
Hmm.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Why
love
didn't
it.
we get an enchanted of that? That's what we need.
I know,
Right?
Enchanted
right?
hey hey.
This has been requested.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Uh,
guess there's still technically time, right?
they
We
could
get a
do it.
couple of Moana cards sprinkled into the different sets. So
I I do love the flavor text on a lot of the Hey Hey cards, especially the one in the Ursula's in the oh my gosh, the deep trouble. Like
oh
Ursula
yeah.
doesn't know why Hey Hey's here.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Power, beauty, hey, hey.
Power Beauty. Hey, hey. Always.
Yeah. That was, I didn't even, it was your husband that actually pointed out the flavor text on that card to me. And I made a shirt from it after that
That's funny.
because I loved it.
That's awesome. All right. Well, tell people where they can find you guys in your awesome
Yeah.
awesome stores, awesome products.
Yeah. You guys can find me at Etsy/Calorel Collective. Or if you Google search Calorel Collective, I'll be up on the top. Or if you just search Lorcana Lore Counters, I am lucky enough to show up on the top of search as well. So you can find me there. I do have an Instagram. You guys can hit me up on my personal socials. That is totally cool. It is Cait Calorel. I'm the only one. So yeah, feel free to message me if you guys have any requests. Let me know. Yeah, that's where you guys can find me.
Nice.
Yeah, I am on Etsy too, Hummingbird Design Lab, and I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and YouTube. I don't have a lot of YouTube content out there, but all of like literally, if you type in Hummingbird Design Lab, I think I pop up on all of them. Actually,
You
one of them,
do.
Hummingbird D Lab, because wouldn't let me get the whole thing on there. Maybe that's
Character limits.
Instagram. I
Yeah.
know.
Well, perfect. All right, I'll make sure everything is linked in the description for the show so that everybody knows how to easily get to all this great stuff. Thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
I've
Thank you so
really
much.
enjoyed the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
And and I look forward to all the great stuff to come out of each of y'all's shops and stuff in the future.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, I will see you around the community.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode. If you liked what you heard, make sure to subscribe and rate or like us on your platform of choice. If you'd like to reach out to the show, you can email us at lorcanachats@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter or X at LorcanaChats, the podcast at podcast.lorcanachats.com, or just lorcanachats.com. We love feedback on the show, and let us know if there's anyone you'd like to hear from in the Lorcana community. See you next time.